Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 9 of How to Canon. Now, as you see by the title, today I'm going to be covering how to canon special types of filters. Now, one thing I do need to say real quick is I do apologize for missing like the past 3 weeks, close to a month of how to canon. I haven't had very many ideas. Like I said, I'm trying to keep this series going until I have nothing else to really talk about. And then this came to mind. Because some people have trouble canning filters and different types of filters, not just these full block ones, which are pretty easy. So I was going to get into that today. So, well, of course, let's start with how filters actually work. So the way filters work is they separate your hammer and your sand by a block differential or greater in order to prevent stacking. So if I fire this cannon right now, normal guider, at this wall, you'll see it's not going to work. Alright, so you saw my slab shoot down there. My red sand just fell down. My sand is nowhere to be found. Maybe somewhere over here. Yeah, so you see that there is, it shot diagonally downwards. And that's because, of course, the hammer was right here and the slab bus was right there. So then it just kind of like, whew. So now we face a predicament. I can't just remove this guider, or else cannon's not gonna be able to stack, unless you use a fusion, which I'll get into in a bit. So what's some blocks I can use to still have a block differential, but still keep them within about the same block? So you can at this point you can either use a slab or trapdoor guider. It's probably recommended to use a slab guider though. So now there's a block differential between the hammer and sand of half a block, so it actually won't stack full, but they're both kind of within the same block. The sand is kind of half in this block, half in this block, which means it won't shoot under, but it will clip. The sand will clip on this front block. The hammer will be fully on this front block. So now the hammer's here, and the sand's just half a block below. So now, in theory, if I fire this off and one shot disabled, yeah. So if I fire this off, it should stack half. And then on the next shot, we should be able to one shot. Alright, so you saw right there, it stacked a little bit, less than half. The next shot, it should stack all the way up. It may do that. So it's stacked though. You can see that because there's still a block differential. Well, not full block differential, but there's still some kind of spatial difference between the hammer and the sand when it hits the wall, so it is able to stack. And let me re-enable my one shot, sand's loaded, and then just fire this off real quick. Okay, so that was a little bit weird. I think my one shot timing is off. Give me a second. Alright, I forgot the problem. My one shot sand is actually breaking for whatever reason, so I just need to kind of nuke this down. But as you see, I fired again, by the way, to stack it full. Just disabled this. As you can see, slab guider, it did stack up to here. That was on a 3-tick hammer. Probably would have stacked higher because it's on a 4-tick. Actually, you probably should have stacked up to there. But stacking here is fine. We can still hybrid that fairly easily. So I just fire this off again, and it's going to nuke that down. Or not. Oh, because I have a slide ladder and kind of weird with that. Alright, so now we're past that wall, so let me just put in the normal guider. And paste in the sand, and well, now we can counter another problem. So before it was the hammer hitting the block and the sand flying under. But now the sand's hitting the block and the hammer's flying over. So what do? Well, it's basically the reverse. You just throw some slabs into your hammer guider. You'll need like 3 or 4. So now what your hammer is doing is it's going to half clip this block. And your sand's actually going to fully clip this block. Now, something that you could do I guess, is add a slab here. Because then there's that full block differential, which may allow it to full stack, but then I need to come into my sand compressor and add another full block thing here. So let me actually just experiment with this, because I don't think I've actually tried doing this before. Should work fine. And in theory, it should work. They're both hitting the same block. There's a full block differential, should stack fine. A block lower though, because of the sand guider's lower. Yeah, you see that fully stacked, and if I had one shot on, that would have one shot. So that's something you can do for these types of guiders. I mean, for those types of filters, just maintain the full block differential, which allows it to full stack in one shot. So you see I did not have to two-shot those, and if I had my one-shot on, I actually would have one-shot that filter. So let me just put my guider back in. Yep. Let me just quickly get rid of this. Alright, so that's all fine and dandy. But now we have a problem. So these blocks are not full blocks. If I come in here and maybe a small guider, let's say a trapdoor, this sand will skim along here and hit that fine, okay. The hammer will skim along here and hit that fine. But these are on the bottom of the block, which sometimes people will do them on the bottom of the block, and when they are, you can cannon them like this. Let me just double check to make sure that that actually works out. Yeah, so they'll both hit that block. But then when it comes to this, hold on, give me a second. Actually, yeah, these are supposed to be on the top of the block. Actually, I'll just demonstrate going through these like this. So trapdoor guider, because if you do a slab guider, I believe it will be too low. No, it will still be able to do it. So let me just quickly load sand and fire away these. So making these on the bottom of the block is kind of a mistake on people's parts, because they are easily cannonable like this. You see, I've stacked a little bit. Let me just paste this in again. But when these are on the top of a block, they are actually incredibly deadly. And I'll explain that right now. Alright, and then if I just fire that again, just hybrid with the hammer. Alright, so you see that was pretty easy to get through. Again, if this cannon would actually work properly, that would have been a two-shot. So actually keep this in, and then you can easily just skim over the next one, although there would be, hold up, block there, so there would be a block there. Right here would be another filter. Crap, I can't fly in water, it's so hard to do. Alright. So now you got past, you can just go shoot right through this hole. I do up one. Here would be like the next wall. Actually probably a block closer. So let me fix that real quick. Alright, so here would be the next wall. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna use a slab or trapdoor guider. You're gonna shoot right through this little gap, and you're gonna stack and hybrid on the next wall. Alright, got rid of that. Oh, never mind, it's right there. Yep, you see everything got through fine. There's a sand stack. If I paste in again, fire, it will stack fully up. Or not. Did I load sand? Did I do that? Alright, let me try that again. That could have just been a weird glitch, I don't know. Yep, there you go. And then, of course, you just go ahead and fire again and get through both the wall, and it would just, and since it's hybriding in this block right here, it would destroy the wall and the block behind it. If you know nuking works, that's kind of like the same concept-ish. Alright, so now you're past everything and you're smooth sailing from then on. But, there's something that will cause you issues, and I'll show you that right now. Alright, so what we have here is kind of the same filter, except these are on the top of a block. Now, what does that change? Well, the way you build these is you have them the same way, except you stagger them. What that means is, so you have like slab, trapdoor, slab, trapdoor, slab. On the next one, you have trapdoor, slab, trapdoor, slab, trapdoor. So you make sure that no matter where they're canning, they will run into at least one trapdoor. And I'll explain that right now. So this first one, it's a slab. Slabs you can just easily cannon by throwing in a trapdoor guider. Because then this will shoot along the barrel, clip on the very bottom of the slab, and you're good to go. So let me just fire that off real quick. Alright, so that's stacked fine. And then I'll just fire off again, and then get rid of that. Alright, so we got through that easily. Alright, so the next one should be just as easy, right? Just make an easy guider change. So hammer's here, and sand would be clipping down here. But the problem is, how do I get, this is the smallest trapdoor possible. It is the smallest guider possible. And my sand would be coming through and just clipping on the top of this trapdoor, and my hammer would be flying clean over. So what can I do? I can't make a flat guider, or else it won't stack. I can't lower the guider, or else it won't stack. Or if I did attempt to lower the guider, what can I do? Hammer's right here, but then again, can't have a flat guider, because if I try to lower the sand by any more, it will simply shoot under. So this is where these get really overpowered, and most people at this point in the raid would realize they made a mistake and start just mining down their cannon. There's two ways I know of doing this. One involves fusioning, the other is a method that I'm pretty sure I came up with. I've never seen it done before. So you want to make sure wherever the trapdoor is, you line your barrel, the top of your barrel, right with that trapdoor. So of course it isn't properly aligned, so let me go fix that real quick. Alright, there you go. The trapdoor is lined with the top of my hammer, and again, hammers sitting on this block. The smallest guider difference you can have is a trapdoor, but now these are equivalent, so this trapdoor, I can just slide right under this trapdoor, since, again, equal distances. So now there's a way I actually figured out. Again, I'm pretty sure I'm the first one to do this. I haven't seen anyone else do it. If you guys have, let me know. But what you want to do is you want to just simply bring this down 2 blocks. So now this is going to come here, and it's going to hit this. So now your sand's right here, and your hammer is right here. Now, you might have to 3 or 4 shot these walls. If I just quickly delete the sand stack. Bring it down here. Set 0 top. Alright, yeah, you may have to 3 or 4 shot these walls, but there's a 2 block differential between the hammer and sand. But this is the easiest way to do it if you're not fusioning. In here I do have like clutch clearance for my slab bust. Depending how you make your cannon or your sand compressor, you may not be able to do this, but I do actually have to go on my sand compressor and completely load the barrel in here, as I did earlier. It'll work fine. With my cannons, this works. So what's gonna happen is, like I said, the sand's gonna come here, it's gonna clip here, the hammer's gonna come up here, it's gonna hit here. Now the thing is, it's only gonna stack up to this block, if I can get on it. So you may have to shoot a single piece of red sand, and then hybrid. That's the only downside, but again, at least you're stacking on them. So if I fire this off real quick, it's gonna stack like a very small amount. Or not. Okay, well, that's actually surprising. So again, at this point, you may have to actually disable slab bust, disable hammer, and start single stacking your red sand, maybe shooting a piece of white sand too, just to expedite the process. I'm not sure that piece of white sand will actually stack, to be honest. Yep, alright, so that's stacked. And then after that, you just go ahead and hybrid with your hammer. So I actually don't need any sand. I'll enable both sides of hammer. Although you could enable one side, but then your cannon's like unevenly filled, and that could get confusing. Although it's already unevenly filled since you turned off your hammer and slab bust in the first place. And voila, you're past that, past those pesky. Am I saying that? Is that the word? Pesky. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's. You're past those pesky filters. So that was a very long and complicated process. And there's a way to just completely get by all that, and let me show you. All right, so this is a fusion cannon. It's actually my 240 fusion. Made a video on this recently. Does not use order of entities to stack and fusion. And if you want to break down on how this cannon works and how to make one for yourself, just make sure you go check out that video. It's a pretty recent video of mine. Anyways, fusion stackers, they have flat guiders. So these filters are no problem for them. They are more expensive. You do need some more hammer, depending how you do it. There are other ways to use like the normal amount of hammer, but using a crap load of power is a definite given. These things eat up freaking propulsion like I don't know, something that eats a lot. So anyways, this is on a flat guider, which means both the hammer and sand will both be able to hit this trapdoor on the top of the block and stack fine, and one shot. So if I come over here, one shot's enabled. You can see that it has no trouble going through these filters. Yep, there you go. Easily one shot it, 35 block scatter, real nice. So that was on the top of the block, and like one block away, like it was right there. So like right here-ish would be the other set, and actually have it over here. But the thing is, we're not even gonna touch these. The hammer is right on this block. So what's gonna happen is the hammer and sand is gonna literally shoot right over, skim the top of it, come over here, and stack and hybrid on this cobble wall. So I paste that in real quick. You're basically just going to completely ignore the second set. That was interesting. Looks like I messed up a bit. Alright, it doesn't quite have enough propulsion to keep the exact block differential. Could have sworn it did. But no biggie. All you have to do is come in here, and I just put sand in that dispenser. Oh no. All I have to do is come in here, lower the guider by 1, and then easily fusion. Oh, if you're using a fusion stacker, you lower the guider. And then easily fusion this wall, because now your hammer and sand are both in this block. Yep, and there you go. Easy one shot. And then from there you can just raise your guider up again to normal and continue firing through their base. And this is slab busting, by the way. And again, like I said, if you want to make one of these for yourself or know how to, Just check out my other video. Okay, well, this thing's behaving kind of weird right now. I think I need to load in the cannon. Yeah, I need to load in the cannon. Yeah, again, just check out the video. You can make one of these for yourself. And also, if you do make these filters for yourself, if you're doing on the like bottom of the block, or top, or even top of the block, I guess, make sure that the wall where your filter, yeah, there you go, one shot it, fine. Make sure that when you have your filters, let's say here's the next wall after your filters, make sure there's a 2-block gap between your filters. So then you'd have like, you know, this. Just to do this real quick. Yeah, make sure you have it somewhat like this. If they're on the bottom of the block, so they can't just shoot through that gap after cannoning these, and then hybrid both this and the wall. Because that will actually make them probably have to fusion, or they can 2-shot the rest of your buffer, which is always a fun time. So just a helpful tip there. So anyways, that's all I have to discuss for today. All these barrels apply to all sorts of guiders. Also another guider you could probably use that may be useful in some situations is a combined trapdoor and trapdoor for your hammer, slab for your sand. I know that there are some guiders you may need this. That's the only other guider there really is. But again, fusions, if you really hate dealing with filters enough to spend the TNT, and if you can actually make these, then they are a pretty decent option. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something. If you have any questions, make sure to ask me down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.